Hello, family. When you plan, do you leave room for God's plan? Well, when you do that, God's plan is always best. I have a proverb for that. This is Proverbs 16:9. A man's heart devises his ways, but the Lord directs his steps. So, there's many times, I've made plans, and God has plan has always turned out better. I've already told you, I think the first time I went to treatment and I wanted to go home for Thanksgiving, but God's plan was for me to not, so I decided not to. And the Holy Spirit hit me like lightning, me and the therapist. So, and just like, when the people, who chose to go against me, and I told them, I said, y'all didn't leave room for God's plan. And whose plan's going to play out? God's. You know, when we align ourselves with God's will, we amazing things happen, and we experience love, peace, and we get to see His handiwork in our lives. If you pay attention, just like when I chose to walk away from religion, and that was kind of scary because that was all I knew. But God kept giving me confirmations. God will give you confirmations when you align with His will. He put books and people, in my path, that gave me confirmations to let me know, I'm walking, the path He laid out for me. Because, the world's going to tell you this or that and go this way and that way and be like this and that. But God might have something different. So follow those confirmations, that God gives you. If you choose to give your life to Him, He will direct your path. So, and God's path is always better than ours because there's more fruits and there's more for us on the path that God has for us than ours. Because when we just choose our path and let our little minds direct us, then we're leaving so much on the shelf. But when we choose to follow God's path, there's so much that God has for us that we only get by following His path. So follow God's path. Let Him direct you. We can make our plans, but leave room for God's plan because His plan is better. But anyway, that's all I have, family. I love you. God bless you. Have a very blessed day.